Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods here. Wake up, guys. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. There you go. Sleeping a little hard after that game on Sunday. All right. Here's the thing. We can't just keep pointing fingers. We can't keep living in the past. What we have to do is we have to deal with this moment forward. There's been much debate about Zeke Elliott. If Zeke Elliott, because he came into camp, after holding out and got paid, if he's slowed, if he's lost a step, if Zeke is the problem. And for a long time, we've been told that Zeke Elliott is the best athlete on the team, so you've got to get him the ball. And you can argue that he is or isn't. But the way I look at it is you've got some, if they're not the best athletes, you've got some other ones that are pretty damn good in Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott. And you've got some guys who've played well in Michael Gallup as well as Randall Cobb. So instead of saying, let's just go ahead and just use this one guy only, why don't we go ahead and try and use them all? Because here's the rationale. The biggest problem for the Dallas Cowboys has always been change, that they get stuck on stupid and doing the same thing. And if you watch that game, and I have watched the highlights over and over again to the point where it just makes me sick looking at it. Because if I can figure it out, these guys that are getting paid a whole lot of money to do it should be able to figure it out. But understand this. If you are constantly running Zeke Elliott up the middle on first down, figuring that my offensive line is just going to blow them out of the way every time, when teams know that's what you're going to do, sorry, that's just stuck on stupid. And you could say, well, maybe it's because the offensive line isn't as good as they were. You could say maybe it's Zeke Elliott isn't as good as he was. Or you could say that teams are figuring it out. Whatever it is you need to change it. Instead of constantly, every time on first down, where basically if you were the Minnesota Vikings and you said, let's plan on stopping the run on first down because that's what the Cowboys are going to do, you guessed right. And when you're constantly running up the middle, man against man, you're going to win some and you're going to lose a lot. What you have to start doing is realizing we need to change what we're doing to keep people guessing. Now, I understand that you used to think that, well, Dak Prescott, he's a young quarterback. He hasn't gotten the grips of the game. His mechanics sometimes fail him. That has not been the case. When you look at where the Cowboys have been this season, Dak Prescott has been the most consistent piece on it and has been playing at an extremely high level. I know you haters like Kevin Milton and stuff will say Dak sucks. But, buddy, look at the stuff that's out here. Now, I want you to understand, these are the 5 most improbable pass plays. Chances of you making completion on these pass plays are slim and none, and you want to bet on the slim. Understand the reason why we were even in that game wasn't because of Zeke Elliott running the football. It was because Dak Prescott was buying time back there and hitting wide open receivers on 3rd and 12s and things like that, keeping the drives alive. Now, just humor me for a second here. I just want you to understand when you're making pass plays like these.
And now simply a shotgun and a fake by Prescott, who rolls and looks and throws and directs traffic, and that one is a touchdown again for Cooper. How does he do it time after time? 3rd and 6. Fires caught on the run. That's Michael Gallup. Takes 4 Vikings to bring him down. From the 39, there's a fake. Prescott running out of room. That is caught. Amari Cooper again right along the sideline. Ending at the 2-inch line. Meanwhile, jump here. You got a free play. And it is pulled in by Cobb. Touchdown.
great job, not only for Dak getting him to jump offside with a hard count, but also realizing it was shot time.
It's a 3rd down and 12. Prescott up in the pocket, throws, and that is Amari Cooper making the catch.
It was amazing. It went right over Mike Hughes' head.
Zeke Elliott is not running as effectively the way we were before. And you could look after the 2016 season, half of the problems we had was the exact same thing. We didn't change anything up. They figured we got the best offensive line of football, we got a dynamic back, we'll just keep doing exactly what we did last year and it's going to work. And that's where we've kind of reverted to start these games out. And sometimes it works in case you blow out a team like the Giants. Other times it doesn't when you're playing against a great defense in Minnesota. But understand what Minnesota did to us. It wasn't that Kirk Cousins threw for 500 yards and beat us. He threw for 220. It was that their running back got 100 yards rushing because he was running downhill and got 86 yards basically on screen plays. What we have to start looking at is using more than just Zeke Elliott. You got to understand, Dak Prescott is built like a linebacker. He's tough. You have to understand that sometimes, Dak, you're going to have to do a run or run pass option. That we're going to fake the dive since the defenses are keying on Zeke Elliott and roll Dak out, and if nothing's there to pass, run and pick up a few yards. Understand that instead of running on 1st down every single time, 6 times to start the game, that we're going to come out slinging the ball, where you're going to start hitting guys. When you start hitting Amari Cooper on a regular, when you start hitting Michael Gallup and Randall Cobb on a regular, guess what? If that defense is still putting 8 men in the box, then you just do that all day. But when you're hitting guys and receivers down the field, they're going to have to change up what they're doing, and that's how you get the running game going. That game where you literally had a quarterback who could not be denied, the only way he was stopped was being stopped by his own coaching staff. You got to go with the hot hand. And right now, that is the quarterback. Your quarterback, top 5 in almost everything. Your wide receiver, number 3 in the NFL, even though he missed a game due to injury. Your running back, he's top 10. But you are not giving him plays that are going to maximize his ability. You go through, you have him blocked for a 1 count. Go out on a screen. They're blitzing. You're screening where the blitzer comes from. You're picking up big yards. Instead, you continue to try and run. And on all those 6 times that we ran the ball on 1st down to start the game, you got 2 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, and 4 yards, I believe it was. You never had one of them, not a single one, go for more than 4 yards. And that, my friends, is being stuck on stupid. Right now, whether you like it or not, this team has evolved into a passing team. You have more athletes at receivers than you do right now at running back. And you have to start using these weapons. And you have to let go of this whole mentality that we must run the football. And we'll become hell or high water one way or the other. We're either going to fall on the sword trying to run the football, or we're going to succeed at running the football. You have to get into the flow of a game. And your quarterback is feeling it, you got to trust him. Now, I don't understand why we don't. Because when we've had games on the line where you've been in hurry-up offense, where you've got to get this drive and get a score to win, Dak Prescott hasn't turned over the ball. More times than not, Dak Prescott in this offense, with Dak calling the plays in a hurry-up offense, succeeds. And if this season is going to be saved, I hate to say it, it's not going to be on the back of running 1st down every down. It's going to be about using your weapons and going with the hand that's hot and using the pass to set up the run, not the run to set up the pass. Because clearly, right now, the run is not consistent enough to do that. Of the 9 games that Zeke Elliott's played in, 4 of them have been under 70 yards rushing the football. Let me say it again. 4 of the 9 games that Zeke Elliott's played in this year, it's rushed for under 70 yards. So you have to get out of this whole thing of being just a run-first team. And you're going to have to start believing in your quarterback. Because he, my friends, has given you enough evidence and proof that you can trust in him. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. But from here on out, if you're going to be running Zeke, and especially when the game on the line, why are you going east and west instead of up the field? Because that's what we ended up doing. Why didn't you fake it to Zeke Elliott and roll Dak out the outside? I got to believe that this Dallas Cowboys coaching staff is more dynamic than what they've shown. We've seen Dak Prescott take a major leap forward. You've seen that now you don't have your Terrence Williams, the invasion of the body catcher, that you've got receivers that are better than Allen Hurns and Cole Beasley. How about we start using it? I'm Mark Holmes, and well, I have faith against the Lions that we can start getting back on track, but it's going to take the coaching staff to change what they're doing. We'll talk about the defense later on today because, quite frankly, we got a lot of work on that side of the ball to do as well. I'll see you soon.